the role in a relationship is important when you put yourself in the correct way. Right? A lot of times people as individual, you want to put a lot of expectations on your couple, right? You want to put these, you need to make me happy. You need to make me, you need to be there for me when I'm sad. You need to be there for me when I need you and I'm upset. What do you think about that? Is that something correct to kind of have that dependency on your couple, your partner?
No, for me, that's kind of like the biggest point, I guess, in a relationship. Being able to have that trust of whenever you need something, they're going to be there for you. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's true, right? Like one of the main things, I guess, from being in a couple is the reason, I guess, what makes it away from being a booty call, right?
Yeah.
Is, I guess, what makes a relationship, right? What you and your lady, right? What was the reason you wanted to take it seriously? What was the reason you saw it more than just, a girlfriend or, just some other girl that you were seeing, in high school? I know you guys, how long have you guys been dating? Or like now married? Or how long have you been together in total?
Together, God, should have let me know. Should have let me know so I could do the math. No, but we've been together since, what is it? June 2011.
Junior year? Her junior year,
Her junior, I think we're both going.
Marcos was jailbait.
She was going to senior year.
Yeah.
I was going to junior year. Yeah, I've been together since 2011. Damn.
Look, in Marcos' defense,
time.
yeah, it has, dude, it's been what? So that's what total of that's 9 years.
9 years.
9 years,
so,
right?
Yeah, more or less.
June, you said, right? So 9 years this month.
9 years.
9 years this
coming
month.
Yeah.
That's a baby. That's a whole kid, dude.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
9
true.
years. We've been together 9 years. Married 2 years. Over 2 years. But yeah, it's been good so far.
What's the difference between not like I'm not meaning it in a challenging way, but in your relationship, what have you noticed the biggest difference between being married and 7 years before you were married? What was that difference in position between you and your wife? Now, wife.
I guess now it's more of the differences. We see more of our, our future goals and what we have, I guess, as far as where we want to get to in life, as far as, our priorities, which is our home, what we want to do. Because we have, we bought a piece of land. So we have more aspirations of what we want to do with the backyard and stuff like that. So I guess now our priorities are mainly I guess what we have in life. I don't know. We're dating. It was more of that feeling of you just want to go out on a date, have fun and stuff. But I know towards the end of dating, I guess what really convinced me, wanted to be, with this person, with her, was that we both kind of had the same aspirations as in life as, we want to not just be that, not just be that couple that, we know it's going to be amazing. We knew ahead of our time that, marriage is not, it's not always going to be great, happy. There's always going to be those hurdles you have to get across. And I guess, one of the main things that I guess I want to put out there that is one of the most important things we have is communication. It's the biggest thing you could probably do when you get married.
On a percentage, how much would you give it?
On a percentage?
Yeah, it's
communication.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it'll be you need to have communication for everything,
right? So I'd say more than 90, right?
Yeah,
because that's everything.
Yeah.
Because what you would say as structured as a relationship is. I don't know how I know how a little bit how your relationship is structured, and that's just based out of viewing, right? Because I don't know the smaller details of what your private life is, right? But as far as my relationship goes, especially now and where it's at right now, we evolve, right? I'm pretty sure your relationship right now isn't the same, and it isn't in the same dynamic as it was, 5-6 years ago, right? It's in a different dynamic.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's important that I've realized, like you mentioned, is communication. I know it sounds what you call cheesy, right? Everyone says it. You need to have communication, everyone. You need to talk about your feelings. And it sounds cheesy.
Yeah.
It does. Because you're like, what the fuck? What? Like, talk about what, dude? We just need to be happy. But that's the point. The premise is you're two separate people, right? You're two different people. And sometimes you have different ideas.
Yeah.
Sometimes, shit, right? Everyone knows.
Like everything's completely different as far as like our ideas, the way we think.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Sometimes
we
crashes.
we do agree with most of the things, but there's a lot of things that we have to talk it out. Especially especially if there's something that bothers that one person, the other person might not know
Like
that
the
you know
AC.
what. Like I like the room real cold.
Yeah.
But no, there's always gonna be like some sort of compromise.
Yeah.
From both people.
Which is where the communication sets in,
Yeah.
right? Because I think at that point, a lot of people kind of have this idea of what a relationship is, and they say this whole compromise thing is, I guess, ambiguous. I want to say, or maybe biased, because it's like, well, why do I need a compromise? Why is that important? Why is it important for us to meet in the middle? Why can't I do things my ways if I know I'm better? If I have more reasoning than he does or she does, right? The problem is that at the end of the day, what I've come to realize out of, I guess you could say, the hard way, right? Everyone, I mean, there's no easy way, right? Yeah. But it's just a real way, right? What I've come to realize is that we're two separate people, two different people who are choosing. They're not forced to be together, right? Nothing is making your wife be with you and vice versa, right? I can leave at any moment. You can leave your house at any moment. And other than the fact that there's some paperwork and, you're going to lose a lot of portion, there's nothing really stopping you, right? It's your choice. And that, at the end of the day, I think is something important for people to recognize. As far as me and Kathy goes, I've realized that she's her own person. As a human being, she has her needs, her wants, her desires, her ideas, her interests, her opinions on fuck.
I have to agree with you.
God, like sometimes they're like crazy opinions where
Yeah.
you're like, what, really? Why do you think of this? But the thing is, at the end of the day, you're two people and you want to be together because of your own personal reasoning, right? And at the end of the day, you have to learn that, you know what, you have to talk it out because no one's here because you're being forced. You're here because you want to. I can leave anytime I want. I'm not forcing you to stay just because I have 2 kids, right? Just because you have a kid with me doesn't mean that you're forced to be here. At any moment, I can leave, dude. I know you can, but that's the point. I think it's realizing that as a person, because I know I can leave, I have to give you that option, that like to treat you like as an individual. That's really important, I think, as a, I guess, especially in this day and age, a lot of people have this, what would you call machismo in English? Male pride ego?
I guess so.
Right.
I wonder
Well,
if
how
there's
do
even a
you
word
view
for it.
that? What's your
Should look it up.
opinion? Machismo, right? What is ask Siri, right? Just tell her. But you can look it up. I'll keep talking. I'll keep the motion going. That machismo, it's like when you act like real proud of your, the fact that a lot of people like to be in the relationship where a male is kind of the dominant one. I don't think that's healthy. Sexism, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
It's because machismo,
sexism.
I guess the word machismo
It's more. Yeah, it's more than just like sexism. It's more of a.
specifically speaking to the dude, the guy's
yeah.
side, right? The male side. What do you think about that? Is that something
Oh, I agree, 100%.
you gotta keep it?
I agree.
Keep
I
the
agree.
leash tight.
No, it's. I mean, it's
She's
different
watching,
times.
right?
Yeah, I know. She's watching right now. I love you, babe. I'll mention her name because then, Michelle, I love you.
Okay, you said it, not me. Okay, we're there. Okay.
But what's it called? Yeah, it's different times. I mean, even I know you. You probably talked to. I don't know about your mom, your parents, but your grandparents. If you go as far as like grandparents, man, that was still like heavy. That was
was
still
the
like
norm.
very. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was normal. And nowadays, I mean, it's
Sexism.
It's more of a norm to see. I guess a woman part of a relationship to also be like a working wife,
Now, yes. Now, especially now.
being part of an income in a marriage.
Maybe
So, yeah,
more.
it's very different. sugar
Hopefully.
mode.
Sugar-
Sugar mode.
if my girl made more than me, that'd be a blessing. I don't know. Some people get real like.
Their butt hurt, right?
Right?
Like they
That's-
have that pride.
Does it? I mean, would you?
Yeah. I don't wanna make money.
your hours.
Yeah.
Please, babe.
And you quit your job.
You quit your
You
job.
don't have a kid.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just messing. But
Nowadays, it's not a.
yeah, it's. I would feel kind of awkward because it's been like embedded in my brain. I mean, I've seen it.
Well, would you say it's instinctive? Like it's part of the testosterone, the fact that you
Yeah.
have to provide for your. I mean, here's the
It's
thing.
kind of like going on a date. When
Yeah.
you go on a date,
You're expected to pay.
yeah. But even like I feel we're expected to pay, but even then I feel weird whenever
They pay.
whenever Michelle's like, oh, I'll pay. I'm like, no, I'll pay.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you. Look, here's the thing. It's because I know Kathy's watching. So I can't really talk shit. I can't really say without kind of expecting a rebuttal. But here's the thing. I do think like you. There are some times where I told Kathy, no, it's okay. I have it and it's okay. But there are other times where I was like, hey, well, babe, you got some money, so why not? Right?
Why
Hey,
not?
why not? It's your turn to be chatted. It's your turn. We both have kids, so hey, come on, help out. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I think I kind of like, okay, we recently went to the beach and I basically funded the trip, right? Is what I'm saying. And I don't mind it. It's something that I feel good when I can. I'd love to do it. You know what I mean? And I'd love to spoil her in a way, right? To be like, hey, I have some money. Do you want to, do you want this purse or let me get you this you've been wanting? Or, when I can, especially. But of course, when you can, you kind of realize like, hey, quality, come on.
Yeah.
But as far as not really the money wise, what's your position on the whole, sexism as far as things that a woman is able to do? Not like jobs and stuff wise. I'm talking like
Do the dishes.
do the dishes,
Laundry.
cook, laundry, who's cleaning, who's buying groceries, whether or not she can go out at certain times of night, shit like that. Basically that would, like, I know it's something that's not commonly said in social media where, hey, that sexism is common in a couple, but I think a lot of people can relate. There is this kind of feeling that, the male gives off, the husband kind of gives off that, hey, why are you going out at this time and what's going on? Like, what's your thoughts on that? I agree.
I agree. No, I mean it goes back to like the same, I guess, like the core like relationship values. As far as like it's not just communication. That's why I didn't know how to answer as far as like a percentage.
Yeah.
Because you kind of you need to have all these values as far as like communication. You need to have that like trust. Trust is also
trust.
it's a big one.
We'll circle about that because okay.
Oh, go for it.
No. Trust. What else is in a relationship?
It's communication, trust, respect for each other as well.
Yeah, okay.
But also you need to be, I guess, like as far as like us, me and Michelle and I, like we are like still very like childish, between us.
Yeah.
So we're still very like
I was like, what
playful
way,
in a
though?
way.
Like, I don't mean to put your shit out
Somewhat
there,
way.
but like, what do you mean childish? Like,
Like we still play with Legos.
oh, shit. Bro, I got a Lego set right now. No, but like, do you mean like, what do you mean?
You still kind of gotta treat each other with that. As far as like when you're starting a relationship,
Flirty.
boyfriend, girlfriend, you need to keep that, I guess, that little fire going on.
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you. But I don't think that's childish though. I mean, I mean, maybe you're referring to something else, but no, I know
Maybe
what
I
you
am.
mean. Like, I wrestle with Kat de repente, like, I'll pick her up and be like, hey, what are you doing? I'll tickle her and whatnot. You know what I mean? But it's not because, again, I'm like trying to be like, I need to tickle her because I need to make sure she knows I love her. Like, I do it because it's fun, And I guess in a way it is kind of childish,
Yeah.
but
I guess I chose the wrong words. Still kind of nervous here.
yeah, no, but that's
But-
fine. I know, like childlike, I guess, as
Yeah,
opposed
yeah.
to something that's more norm, I guess, centralized, where people have like, hey, let's go to dinner to keep the fire going with
exactly.
a wine. No, but I get you. But I think that's our generation though, because I think a good chunk of us as relationships in our age, like we have that relationship. I mean, even viejito, like, have you seen older people?
Yeah.
They have when they have the fire.
Yeah.
I think that's normal. But as far as that, all those things you said, the building blocks basically to the relationship,
Yeah.
I think that is important. What you said, it was communication. A big chunk. I would give it more than 75%. Communication. Because communication is what establishes trust. respect, and you said something else. What was it? I think basically those three basically sum it up, right?
Yeah.
Love, no, communication, respect, and trust. Now, yes, communication establishes those two, which is why I think, in my opinion, I give a lot of that portion of what makes a good relationship is that communication, that ability to, if you have a problem, not be childish about it and not mention it. You know, you have to discuss your issues with these people, with your couple, these people, with these people. They're crazy.
These women.
You have to talk to them. They got to talk too, man. No, we have to talk. We have to talk to each other about anything that bothers you, because that's how anything that is made. That's how everything that's grouped works. You know, like an engine of a car. And a lot of people like to use this analogy, but all of that engine has communication together. One part doesn't move without knowing the other part's moving, and it's essential to know so that you can keep that engine running. And that's, I guess, a good metaphor to use, that you need to be able to voice your concerns. And here's the thing, just because they're concerns doesn't mean you need to take them offensively. A lot of people get real like, whoa, why does it bother you? It's like, hey, it's just an opinion, you know, at the end of the day. Kathy sometimes doesn't like...
Let's stay open-minded.
Yeah, it's open-minded. You know, hey, she has a right to be bothered, and just because she's bothered doesn't mean she's right? Mm-hmm. so that's my point. Like,
no comment.
Yeah, no comment.
No comment.
So that's my point. Like, if I say something, I've told this to Kathy, and I have this open mind about like having our discussions like this. So I'll tell her something that bothers me, and I'll tell her, at the end of the day, Kathy, this is just me telling you what bothers me. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I know it has to do a lot with like I'm not sexist. Okay, but
yes, you are.
I'm not racist, but no, look, I'm not sexist, but like I do get concerned when my wife wants to dress a certain way, and maybe she looks too sexy or attractive, and I kind of get like, oh shit, like what if guys are looking at her? How am I gonna handle this? What's all this happening? And I don't tell her in a way to tell her, hey, you go back, get your butt back into work.
I do.
No, like I don't tell her that. What I do, which is kind of it's a different way of doing it, but I guess essentially it's in the same category, because what I end up doing to Kathy is I just end up telling her, I get the belt, right? And then I fold it and I'm just kidding. This doesn't happen. No.
It doesn't.
Only kinky
We know it
times.
does.
No, so like what?
No, but that's when you need to have that trust as well. I mean, I know there was a time where I used to be very, I guess you would say, like jealous in a way.
Yeah.
And but you kind of learn that. First of all, like I don't understand why they do that, but you kind of got to learn that it's part of their ways.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
I've had that conversation with Kathy. Like, hey, I don't like you to dress like this, but I don't tell her to stop. I would like her to stop. Like the way I phrase it is, look, Kathy, I'm gonna be honest. What you're wearing, which it's not often. I'm talking like if her cleavage is showing too much, which is nothing wrong. It's not like, I guess in a harsh way, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with a woman showing her cleavage in a general sense. Now, the way I'm kind of putting it, I'm treading on fucking thin glass here, man. all the women are like,
I'll just hide behind
yeah,
the microphone.
Like, what are you saying? Say the right words.
Right?
I'm trying to be careful.
Choose your words wisely.
I am. Okay, so watch. I'm about to fucking maneuver this shit. I'm about to land this baby. Okay, this puppy. So what I tell her is like, look, Kathy, I'm no one to tell you how to dress. You can do whatever you want at the end of the day. That's your decision. But I'm gonna tell you, it bothers me how you're dressing. It just bothers me, and it gets me stressed out because of so and so, which might be because other people are looking. I don't like for other men to look at you in a way that makes me, in a way that instinctively wants to whoop some ass. You know what I mean? You ever felt that? Like when someone looks at your girl and you're just like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and here's the thing, at a certain point, it's like we're biologically driven like that. We're men. We act on testosterone because we're trying to protect what we think of as ours. You know what I mean? This is my woman. I need to protect her at all costs, not to be sexist, but we're programmed to be protective. That's us. That's a thing, right? So that's why I tell her, like, this is the reason why. These are my concerns. Like I said, I don't expect you to do anything, but please
Do something.
about
Please
it.
do something.
Please. And that's the communication we have. So I'll be like, she sometimes she's respected my opinion as far as how I think, like, she dresses sometimes. Oh, actually, I've never had that real issue with her, but like have talked to her about other things, and not necessarily with how she dresses, but like, let's say, I don't want to put her out there, but sometimes dudes message her. Dude, I'm telling you, we're stepping on some shit, man, but we're in it now, dude.
You are.
Yeah.
You're
I know
in it now.
you're
I
getting
ain't saying
further and
anything.
further away from the
Yup.
mic. You're like, I agree. I
So this
think.
episode's over.
No, look, okay.
No, it's, and I get you, because I know there was a time where there's been times that I've been like that, but
It doesn't
I mean,
bother
at
you when
the end-
someone messages.
at the end of the day, I mean, I don't have that problem, and at the same time, you have that trust, that communication. She will let me know, or she'll tell me, hey, like, this guy like
Oh,
told
it's
me
been
something or
oh,
whatever.
okay.
And that's why I don't have any of that, I guess, concern. And as far as like going out, I mean, I've noticed there's times where they dress a certain way,
Yeah.
and they get more attention. But there's also been times where they're all covered up and they still get the same attention. So
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, guys will be guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Um,
In that aspect, yes, I agree with the dressing, especially.
So I kind of just learned to kind of like ignore
calm
it.
down the
'cause
primitive, right?
It will be there no matter what. You can try whatever you want. It's
Yeah.
gonna be there.
No, I know.
But I ain't no pussy. What you?
Dude, remember when I talked to you about? Well, I didn't talk to you about it. See, this is what happens. We have this group chat where me, Michelle, and I can say her name because you said her name already. Kathy and I, we all get together and we, hang out and we, do couple shit, right? But there's times where we kind of vent about each other, we have those group therapy sessions, I guess. And in that moment, I've told him, like, what do you guys think about some dude messaging? Like, what would you think? And like, I want to bring that up again. I'm going to bring it out again. But I want to ask you, like, what is your position when a dude messages her? But not just like, hey, what's up? Well, how you doing? No, like, what happens when they are persistently exchanging memes?
As far as I don't want to get there.
I know, it's weird, right?
I honestly haven't had that problem. Hopefully,
Shit,
that I know
right?
of.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't had that problem. I mean, I know there's been times where people have like consistently like messaged her like on her pictures, commented and stuff.
Oh, okay. Like you could see
And
a
there's been
pattern.
times, and there's
Yeah.
been times where like where the guy's headed.
Yeah.
And I think, but I mean, in the last couple of years,
But
I
like
think
with
only
memes?
one time I got.
Have you gotten memes?
No. One time, I did get into it because, the guy was like, persistent.
Like he messaged him?
I think it was like he was, guys, they'll do anything.
Yeah, dude.
So
no.
he was trying in a way of like
know.
something that was related to, I don't know, it was like work or something like that. But he was like, trying to be sly about
And
it.
you
trying to
know who
get
you
it
are,
that way.
motherfucker.
No. And I think it got to a point where like I just messaged like, hey, like it's me, right? I'm your husband. Like, what do you want? And that's it. But I mean, I'm talking about
nothing like
one
friendship.
time in years. Other than that I know of, I mean, nothing. Hopefully,
Right.
yeah. Other than that, I mean, there's really been nothing that I've been concerned of
See,
or anything like that.
I had that issue. I think I told you about it, right? I think you guys, I told you about the whole meme
No,
thing.
I don't know
Remember?
what you're talking about.
Dude, the whole meme thing. There's this vato who, I'm not gonna say any fucking names. You know who the fuck you are, bro. No, look. There was this guy who was messaging memes to her, and the thing is, he's married, I think now, or like he was always been engaged and whatnot. But it always bothered me that every fucking time I would see her get a message, it was that vato sharing a fucking meme, and I'd be like, bro. Like, I don't send memes to girls. Like, what the fuck? I know it sounds childish, but like, dude, to have a meme buddy, that's personal, bro. Like,
as a guy, you know where this is going.
yeah, dude.
You know what you're trying to
I'm
get
not
into.
gonna be investing my shares of my memes, dude. I send my memes to Kathy all the time because it's like, dude, this chick is gonna find it funny.
Yeah.
So to think that my girl was this guy's first thought when he said, "Oh, she's gonna think this is hilarious," that bothered me. So here's the way I handled that situation. So I pulled up to this fool's house.
Oh,
Just kidding.
I thought you did.
No, I don't go that far. I'm not. I don't got the.
Shut up with my AR.
Yeah, I showed up with my AR cock dick. Whoopah. What's up, dog? You gonna send me some memes too, dog, or what? No, look. I just like the same thing with that the whole thing I mentioned with the whole outfit thing. I told her just how much it bothered me. That's it. I didn't tell her to stop because I have no right. I realize that I have no right as one person telling her to stop, unless or I'm gonna leave you. Just stop sending memes, or I'm gonna leave you. That sounds like real pussy shit to do. Like use this. You're gonna lose it. So what I said was, dude, hey, it bothers me. Look, you can keep doing it, but I'm telling you, it bothers me. I'm gonna and then to finish it off to like the cherry on top, but like I'm gonna get a meme buddy myself and whatnot. And so that's how we kind of left it off. Eventually, I haven't seen anything, but that's where it kind of stopped, I think. Or I just stopped checking her phone. No, but going back to that, dude, antes I would check her phone often, and she does too. Kathy, you fucking check my phone right now too, dude.
Like, she checks my phone all the time. But I'm like, at the same time, you have that trust. I mean, I
have
don't
nothing
care.
to hide.
But I don't know why you still get that that heart, oh, why is she checking my phone? Even though you have nothing.
You remember when Kevin Hart made that stand up when he was driving home, he got mad with his wife, and then his wife he was driving, right? He was angry at her. He was driving away from the home, and when he went over a bump and there was a noise in the trunk, and he goes, checks it, he opens the trunk, and it's his wife in the trunk, and she gets up without saying anything to him and fucking runs home away. And then she says, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna go and confront her about this. And she goes and talks to him, and he's like, why were you in my trunk? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It was probably one of your other bitches in the trunk. And then he's like, did I have another bitch in the trunk? Well, I think that's the point. It's like, did I do something wrong? Like, fuck, did I like the wrong photo? I don't know what happened. Shit, so I understand what you mean. At this point, I really don't care because I have nothing to add absolutely in it, and mostly everything I could explain. So, but here's the thing: I don't check her phone at all anymore. I kind of realized something a long time ago. I was like, you know what? Hypothetically speaking, let's say I do find something. Where is the end of that? You know what I mean? Am I gonna forgive her? Is it gonna be where I'm just gonna say fuck this? I'm gonna leave. I kind of did the whole round, and I was like, if she doesn't have the respect to kind of not,
to respect you,
then it's not worth the relationship. You know what I mean? And from there we could see where to go, right? I'm not gonna look for it. The one thing is kind of looking and
trying to find
something because you're going with a goal. I think that's already the wrong mindset.
I know if you get to that point where you I guess you kind of go crazy,
like looking for stuff.
Yeah, trying to find something, and it's at the end of the day, it's just unhealthy, I mean, if you want to find something, I mean, it's
like, what's the point of that?
Exactly.
Right?
Like, is it because you want to find something for what?
To break up.
Exactly.
To fight.
So it's just it isn't healthy.
It's weird, right? Like it's a weird position. Like, because here's the thing, they say you need to trust your relationship, right? And I kind of like I ran this across Kathy last time. I was like, it's weird because you're supposed to have trust for someone, but the trust isn't based on whether or not they deserve it. Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's trust. Whether they deserve it or not, it's trust, because that's what basically trust is, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you're barely starting off a new relationship. It's not they have to earn my trust or now I don't trust them. Regardless if they're cheating or not, you need to trust them with the decency of not doing that. You know what I mean? It's weird, because
it is. And I mean, I've heard a lot of like people, that my wife's told, like she's told me about and stuff like that, and like other people you find out like through I guess work or other people that
through gossip.
It's weird how I guess nowadays it's become like a norm of like having that like double life or like cheating, because I've heard a lot of people. So I mean, I would understand why like sometimes like you would be I guess kind of like.
Why do you think they do it?
I have no idea. I really don't know.
I've asked myself these questions. Obviously, here's the deal. I know Kathy does it too.
What?
Michelle, she fucking cheats every day, bro. It's just
All the time.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No. Like, here's the thing. I know Kathy, Michelle, you, and me. I know you can deny it all you want, Marcos, but I know you, bro. I know you, dog. No, like I'm not trying to point fingers, but we all look at the opposite sex, and we all occasionally have like, oh shit, like that woman is attractive. 100%,
I don't know what you're talking about.
100% straight, baby. Straight. I'm
Never.
a straight arrow, baby. Nothing but eyes for my wife. No, look, okay, fine, Marcos, you're the only dude who does it. But look, I know Kathy does it. She looks at the opposite sex, whether it's often or not, and she says, oh, maybe she's attractive. Oh, he's kind of attractive, and that's it, right? I think the difference is how far do you chase that feeling, right? Like, how far do you kind of let that? Because obviously you see people who are attractive. The sheer fact that each of our senoras, and we've had this discussion before where we have that one celebrity that we would do or some shit. Remember that discussion we had? Oh, mine was, I don't know, that chick from the fucking Star Wars Rogue One, and Kathy's was Tom Hardy.
Who was that?
It's Venom. You know Venom?
Oh, okay.
Tom Hardy. Dude,
Bane.
That's a funny story.
I know it's Bane.
Well, Bane, yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Bane. Okay, so Bane. And it's funny, though, because they're people, right? Like, what's the difference that they would do them? Like, even if you're in a relationship, it's still cheating, right? So that's my point, is that knowing that they think they're attractive, they probably think other people are attractive too, which is normal, right? It's normal. But I think the point is, how far do you chase that feeling, as far as, and I think it all has to do with satisfaction. I know a lot of people don't like to blame the fact that, let's say you cheated on Michelle tomorrow. No, I'm just calling it out. Okay, let's say someone cheats on someone. I don't want to put it. I'm trying to put someone in an example, but I don't want to put you in the hot seat, dude.
I feel like I'm in the hot seat already.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying so hard to get out of it, and you keep coming back to it.
The whole episode is like, no,
Cringe.
right? No, ¿qué te iba a decir? So let's say some dude cheats on their girl tomorrow, right? Is it to some extent the other person who didn't cheat's fault also for not satisfying their need, whether it be attention, whether it be desires, whether it be emotional support, whether it be, sex, whatever? Is there a fault to some degree, do you think?
I don't think so.
Right?
I personally don't think so. I mean, if that's when you go back to communication. If there's something lacking, you need to talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
So, I mean, if you can't use that, I've seen it so many times. I've heard it so many times that,
like, you didn't do this, and it's because
you're always working.
Yeah. But you have to communicate about it.
Exactly.
Right? That's the premise, which is, again, goes back to that full circle, where it's like one of the most important things. And why? Because you have a problem, you need to vocalize it. You need to vocalize it, and then you need to fix it. I guess it's being truthful at the end, because if you're trying to hide, I know a lot of people like to do that, where they don't really want to voice their concern, whether it be like, hey, dude, look, I know you've been working. I know there's some relationships. I honestly, I don't even have anyone at mind, but I'm pretty sure there's relationships where the woman is taking care of the kids and the man is working. And even to them, a certain point, women get frustrated with taking care of the kids. Even at that point, even though you both are sharing the same amount of responsibility in a way, right? You're taking care of the kids and you're providing the meals, right? You still need to voice your concerns. Whether or not you have a reason, you need to voice it, because they are ultimately concerns. Like, if that girl, the mom or whatever, felt like she's been taking care of the kids too much, she needs to be able to voice it. Even if it's something that is important or not, or something that is going to be fixed or not, she needs to say, hey, I've been taking care of these kids. I'm tired. I know you work a lot, and I know, we're trying to spread the thing, but it's something that's really been weighing down on me. You know what I mean? That's where you see a lot of kind of that stress involved, where you don't want to mention it to your couple because you feel like it's not worthy of it being a couple problem,
Yeah.
I think that's a problem.
I actually do that a lot. You could probably ask Michelle. I do that a lot. Like, when it comes to like little things like that,
Yeah.
I just keep it myself, because I think most of the time I'm like, and I think that way, like, is it
worth it?
Is it worth to fight right now, like,
Yeah.
or something stupid,
See.
And but I'm trying to work on that, babe. I love you.
No,
But yeah, I'm more like that. Like, as far as like in our relationship, my relationship with her, with her, it's I think she's the one that probably voices more of her opinions, like her feelings and stuff like that, and I'm just more of like the more conservative. Yeah, I try to like just maintain the relationship, keep it going, just like how we are. But I mean, up to a point, you could also get like frustrated, stressed when like you don't voice your voice your stuff. Yeah, it does build up, and that's when we have bigger problems. But
and you snap, break her arm, push her against the wall a little too hard,
yeah, just a little bit,
No,
hit her head, knock down,
accidentally roll on her. Yeah, no.
No, but it's fine. I mean,
but here's the thing. Like, I don't think any little, as long as here's my concern. Well, not my concern. Here's my opinion on presenting issues to your partner. It doesn't matter how big or small they are. If it's something that comes to your head, I think you should be able to discuss it. I think it should. I try to keep that relationship with Kathy because I've realized that our knowing what's bothering each other, even if it's small or like irrational, it's important, there's little pet peeves that we have of each other, especially. I know you probably have some shit you hate that Michelle does, just like I hate certain shit that Kathy does, and I've told her, but I don't tell her to stop, because again, I'll give you an example of something I fucking hate that Kathy does. It's not a big.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't walk the path, dog. Hold it. I need a release. No, I've talked to her about this. So, she likes to throw fucking trash in the dish in the sink. Like when she's doing something, she's unwrapping something. She just leaves it in the sink for later. Like when she's washing dishes, she'll throw it away. But I ask myself, like, why don't you just throw it to the trash? It's right there. Like, why do you leave the wrappers in the sink? Just throw them in the trash. It's a small problem, right? And I voiced it to her. I told her, hey, dude, why do you do that? Like, why can't you just throw it? And, like, it's a mania that she has, and I've realized that. Here's how the way I addressed it. I realized that all I have to do is just clean it. All I have to do is throw it away. I don't have to complain about it. I live with her, and she lives with some things that she doesn't like for me, and she does certain things, like, sometimes I leave my fucking socks on the side on the bed. I do, babe. A lot, right? And she'll put it away for me, or she folds clothes. Sometimes I don't like put away the folded clothes. She puts it away and stuff like that. So you really have to learn to give and take within that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with picking up after your couple as long as you're okay with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I think. Like, sometimes, like, she cleans up after me. Sometimes I clean up after her. Sometimes she does a little bit more. Sometimes I do a little bit more. And that's fine. Until it's a problem, it should be voiced as a concern, whether it be like, just a small, like, hey, babe, like, I don't want to sound like a bitch, but stop throwing trash in the sink because it's kind of annoying. No, but like, and if she wants to, that's fine. You got to take it to the ultimatum, I think. And you got to run it through. So if I tell her and she says, fuck that, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to throw my trash in the trash. I'm going to throw it in the sink because I fucking want to, right? And I say, well, fuck that. I don't want to be in this relationship then because it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Is that really what I'm going to want to do? And I say, no, I'm not going to leave this relationship because she refuses to throw it in the trash. I accept that full circle. And I say, you know what, fuck it. Let me just throw this shit in the trash. That's fine. Yeah, when it's bigger shit, that she doesn't want to do, like, hey, why don't you cook for me? Like, what the fuck? No, it's just cooking. She cooks occasionally, and we all cook. We both cook. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. you have to take it that full circle. And if it's a problem where you say, is this worth, like, getting it to the point of where it could go? And if you say, no, fuck it, let me just clean up, fuck it, stop being a little bitch, let me throw it away in the trash. Fucking throw it away in the trash.
I mean, it also depends. I mean, she works a lot too.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing.
You gotta take that into account as well.
Exactly. You have to be, I guess, what do you call it? Empathetic is basically put yourself in her shoes. She's working. She probably has other things on her mind. There's little things, Dude, you know what I do? I fucking put how some shit's supposed to go in the pantry and some shit's supposed to go in the fridge. Sometimes I put it in the pantry. And
the other way around.
Yeah. I put what was it? I put milk in the fucking pantry once.
I was thinking about the spoiled milk.
Dude, and Kathy once opened it. She's like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I put it in the wrong place. It's so stupid. But, like, that's a thing. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know if she means it. I can't take it like she's fucking with me. Yeah. The trash is in the sink. She's trying to get to me. She knows how to fucking get to me. I can't take it like that. You can't take it like that. That's a problem with. I had this joke a while back, like a week ago. I'm talking about a week ago. A while back is like that's a week ago.
It sounds
It
like
feels
months ago already.
It feels like months ago, dude. Like fucking last week we didn't have riots.
Yeah.
Shit. So
We're worried about
let's talk about
coronavirus.
riots.
Go back to episode.
Let's go back to episode
number
4. No, so there was this joke that I told Kathy was that it's funny how some people get offended when you don't agree with them, right?
Oh yeah.
But like you look at it like, oh, they're getting offended because you don't agree with it. But like, let's put it in a more, like, I guess, generalized way or flatter way, right? Where if I tell you, like, okay, let me see. Hey, dude, I don't know, bro. I don't like the.
Wearing caps.
Or like, yeah, dude, I don't. Yeah, like, let's say I tell you,
I don't like wearing caps.
I don't like wearing caps, bro. And then you go like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? Calm down.
Yeah. But why?
Like people sometimes react that way,
Yeah.
like getting offended. Like,
Yeah.
dude, calm the fuck down, dude. Why are you fucking going at me like that, dude? I just telling you, I don't like it. So a lot of times we want to get offended like that when people disagree or have their own opinions or voice their concerns. You get like, well, dude, calm the fuck down. I was just kidding. Or I was just telling you what I think. Or fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think that's what's going on with, like, I guess, like, most of the people nowadays too. Like, they just can't really hear like an opinion without, you know, being
in relationships,
emotional.
right?
Yeah.
Like most of the days, like divorces and stuff, you kind of don't respect, I think, the individualism.
Yeah.
Because I look, I'm all about individualism, but I understand that we are a group. Like we're in a position where we have to, but you can't ignore the fact that they are people. I know, especially in older relationships, not too old, but it's real common, like our parents, right?
Yeah.
That one of them oversteps. You can see it, like especially with the man and the woman. You know, they overstep that whole "señora, make me food" and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
The frío.
frío.
This food's cold. Give me more.
Dude, and you're like, it's funny because in our generation, you're like, damn, that's fucked up. Like, I remember I went a long time ago when I was in high school to a buddy of mine's house, and we were eating dinner, and I joined him for dinner, and his mom, dude, came and started serving food for us, and I was like, what's going on? Like, this is weird. Like, because I'm not, like,
Yeah.
they were real machismos, and I was like in a weird position, and she was serving us, and all the men, because they were all just guys, it was just a mom only, and brothers and dad,
All
they were just sitting and waiting for the food. And she was coming back and forth giving tortillas. She hasn't even eaten yet, and I was like, this poor lady, it felt so bad, dude. I got up, I washed my fucking plate, dude. Fuck that, dude. That feels bad. That's mean.
It does. I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation a couple of times, but yeah, it's just awkward. Like, you don't really know how to react to that, right?
It's so normal for them. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Where it's like no one's seeing. Like, are we seeing this? Let her eat. Stop with the tortillas, God. Dude, she's a real dude. I felt so bad. I was like, where's she gonna eat, dude? There's no
Yeah.
seat for her. How's the last time you had sex? Okay, speaking of sex, how important is that to you guys? Just yes or no, man. Yes or no. Is it important or no?
Yeah, very important.
Right? It is. I think it is. I think it's something that a lot of people kind of take for granted, is that you have to have that intimacy with your partner. It's not just sexual. It's a connection that needs to be sometimes maintained, albeit sometimes forcefully. I'm just joking, dude. That's not forceful.
You're not joking.
No.
You know
Like,
you're not joking.
sometimes you gotta be like, "Come on, babe, I'll buy you that knife first. Come on, babe.
What do you
know
want?
You
What
wanted
do you
a
want?
pedicure. You've been wanting that pedicure. It's weird though. I don't know if you guys been through that, but that's the most funniest shit is when you start. I know with Kathy, sometimes I do this whole bit with her. It's like, "Hey, you want food? You want to go eat some like tacos? Hey, babe, look, we just have sex. We'll go get some tacos right after, watch a movie. You know, you start buttering them up and shit." It's because sometimes I know it's weird with women. They don't always want to have sex, you know. For us men, it's like, oh, every day. It's funny. But as far as a position in your marriage, in a couple's relationship, what is each person's position in that relationship, generally speaking?
Position as in like responsibilities, or what do you mean?
Responsibilities in a general way, not just like, well, for the man it's this and for the women it's that. I think as each person, what would you say that these two halves, what their positions and responsibilities are in that relationship? I don't know what the fuck you just said.
I don't know what you're fucking trying to ask.
Okay, so like let's say you see two parts, right? Obviously, a relationship is two parts, sometimes three or four if you're Mormon, right? No, I'm just joking. Like in a I guess in a what is it? Socially acceptable, I guess nowadays is
Yeah.
A two-part relationship, two people choosing to be in a relationship. What is it each one should bring to the table? Not sexist, not that the man should be being food, the woman should be, doing this. Like as far as equality, right? In a sense, I guess I'm asking you and Michelle, what do you guys feel you understand as your responsibilities to your household, which is, your house, Ace, your dog, right?
Yeah.
You, Michelle, bills, all that. What do you feel a relationship emotionally speaking? What is it that you feel your responsibility is to that relationship?
I guess it depends on each person. Maybe also races or areas where you live or grew up, because we both kind of have that same like mentality.
You mean
of,
the
like,
traditional Mexican?
Yeah, traditional.
Yeah.
Like like the man is the one that carries and he's like the stone of the household and all that
bread
stuff.
bringer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we both kind of have that same mentality, generally speaking.
But here's the thing.
But
it's
not in the way
where-
that's like hardcore.
Yeah,
or
where
like,
you're
okay,
oppressing
you're
her.
gonna
Yeah.
gonna make the dishes, you're gonna cook for me, make
like
the
she
sandwich.
likes it, right?
Yeah,
she likes
that,
her
'cause
man to take
we're
care
both
of her.
exactly. We're both in that same position where like up to a certain point.
Yeah.
It's not hardcore like. It's because in a feeling we talked about this and I guess nowadays we grew up being more of like understanding.
Yeah.
As far as like, okay, you know what, like in this situation, that does make sense.
Yeah.
The man should be like the alpha or the one that takes care of the family.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we like our generation kind of knows how to, I guess, pick point like the good things and the bad things
Yeah.
and kind of like narrow it down to like, okay, this
There's
is
some
what
things
we
that
should
women
do.
are better and some things that men are better. And if
For example,
both can
to
help-
me personally, I think women have a more stronger, like I guess they're stronger emotionally.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I'm an emotional man. I'll tell you the truth. I think Marcos knows. But here's the thing, and this is another topic, but the reason why is because I was raised with women.
Yeah.
And so that being said, those women are emotional.
Yeah.
They're just, I guess, biologically, right? You said made that way to be emotional. And as a man, but like you mentioned earlier too, is that you're more conservative with your emotions.
Yeah. And but yeah, I guess I could share in our relationship we're more like that. We kind of have that sexism, but not in an unhealthy way. We have that into where
I guess you want to say balance.
yeah, it's kind of like it's balanced, but we like our core values are still kind of like sexist.
Traditional.
Traditional.
Yeah, I don't want to say
I don't wanna say
sexist.
sexist,
It's a
yeah.
sexist
Traditional.
value.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
more
a
it's
better
more like
word.
I guess Mexican, Hispanic,
Yeah, Mexican.
traditional.
Yeah, because like I said, we're from the RGV,
We're- yeah, we're-
Hispanic.
yeah,
It's a strong traditional value.
Where I would I would take care of her. I would try to be, the more most of the, the financial like import to the household and stuff like that.
Mowing the grass. And
Exactly.
stuff
More
like
the, I guess,
And it's-
manly things
that.
to do,
Yeah.
I guess, outside and everything.
It's not like to be an asshole. It's not with
Yeah,
that
but
intention.
at the same time, she works on the weekends. And for example, I have our electricity bill plan. It's like we have free weekends, right?
Yeah.
So, if you just think about it rationally, I tell her, one on the weekends, I'll put the clothes to wash, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just like you save a few bucks here
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So it's not, like I said, it's not real traditional, in a hardcore way, but we do kind of have that, I guess like our base stands in a traditional
It's
way.
based on traditional values, but it's a more progressive choice
Exactly.
approach. Because and that makes sense. I think that's healthy. It is healthy, especially when you both are okay with it. And it's not like she's serving dinner while the guests are waiting. In fact, Marcos is the one who serves while we wait. ¿Ya comieron? Did you all eat already? Okay, can I eat now, babe, please?
Please, man.
These are thoughts. These are opinions. Like I said, there's nothing.
We're not marriage advisors.
Yeah, not marriage advice. It's just an opinion that, and just kind of an insight to our relationships as far as how we kind of approach them and how we handle them. And if people, of course, get a different perspective versus how they handle their relationship, it's healthy, to have those insights on other people, how they handle their situations. It's good. But like I said, I'm sure I have a lot to learn. I have my own issues with myself and we work together, me and Kathy, as far as helping build ourselves up. I guess we call each other out on certain things, and sometimes we fight. I mean, that's not uncommon. We fight, we argue, but we don't fight in a sense where it's taken out of hand. It's not where
Like to put each other down.
put
It's
each
more
other
of-
down
yeah,
and
it's
fighting.
more of a,
We disagree, and then I guess at this point, I think I mentioned to you in our last hangout that we've kind of learned to go our separate ways when we get upset, to kind of calm each other down. And then later on, I'll be like, hey, remember when you're being an asshole? Yeah, we kind of bring it up then. But that's kind of the approach that we've taken. And again, there's more to learn on the way. It's not something that is perfect ever. It's a dynamic that I think as two individuals with our own set of personalities, everyone's different and everyone reacts differently with everyone,
Yeah.
So some people, I'm telling you, some people get along easier than with other people, and that goes with relationships. Some relationships are easier and some relationships are harder, but that doesn't mean that they last more or less. I've seen that, I've seen where other people have really dynamic and easygoing relationships, but they don't last long. Mm-hmm. I guess it's fun. It's funny. It's ironic, but the ones that struggle but are willing last longer because of that willingness, which is good. If you both are willing, as long as you both are willing to keep going, you guys will get really far. People will get really far. I think everyone can kind of agree with that. Am I right?
Yes, sir. I agree.
I agree.
No, but yeah, like you mentioned, everybody's different. And just to give like that quick example, like for example, you say that you guys kind of like, split up,
Mm-hmm.
have that time to breathe, think about it, think about the situation.
Yeah. Calm down.
We're a little bit, I guess just in that sense, we're different in that case, as far as like, if we argue, we kind of have to fix it right away.
Yeah.
In order to
Which I
like,
respect.
be good.
I'll give you that, because you
'Cause,
guys have talked to me about that.
Yeah, that's one of our like main ones. Like we don't like being mad at each other for a long time, because
So
I feel
you
like
talk it out.
it just fuels it up more for us. So what we do is like, if I mess up, she messes up, or we both kind of had to learn how to like just suck it up, let that pride go. That's a main one. I know
Pride.
my wife, she would struggle more with that a little bit, but she got a lot better. It's not. It's just like
I
it's
get you.
like a learning experience, and she used to. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like as far as like when we first got married, we were both like learning. We don't know what's really going on, and there was a point where like she used to be more like that. Like she didn't want to talk about it, but we both slowly like learned to know what, like as far as like for us what works.
Yeah.
Is that talking about it right away, letting that pride go it helps a lot.
I'm not sure if it's right, but as far as mine's better. Just no. Like,
mine's right. You're wrong.
Right. You're wrong. You guys need to chill. No. I feel like both work.
And that's what I mean. It depends. Everybody's different.
Right. Like that's what. Yeah.
So. Yeah, we're not giving any marriage advice.
No marriage advice. Like, it's different. You guys like to talk it out. I can't talk it out with Kathy because she doesn't like to talk it out immediately. And I understand. I used to want to talk it out quick, but that's myself putting my ideologies into that. I've realized she's the type of person that needs to chill down before we talk. And we've done that, and it works. I feel comfortable with it. Sometimes I get upset. It's like, why can't you talk about it right now? That's just me being selfish.
Yeah.
If you guys as a couple agreed to that, that's awesome. It works, and that's I think is something of a good insight to kind of realize, is that there's no specific correct way of doing it. There might be like some that people recommend and stuff like that, but I guess at the end of the day, as long as we both meet with that same, hey, this, and it's not like we don't ever talk about it again. We do talk about it, but we kind of take this route and this route. We both meet at the same goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think it's safe to say that this episode has been concluded. Marcos?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with.
I agree.
I will go with the same spiel again. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you guys get a chance to like our Facebook, Instagram, and follow us on Spotify, please do so if you haven't. And if you have, thank you guys for supporting. Any comments or concerns or your own personal experience on what we've, or any comments or concerns on what your own personal experience is regarding the topics that we discussed, that you want to voice in the comment sections or
Opinions, advice.
Advice even, shit. If you have some advice, give me some advice. No, feel free to voice them in the chat, in the comments below, or send us a personal email. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.